Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Facebook अच्छी है
Ram Hare
मन करी था Facebook
Hare
लगे भी इंटर को तो बोलना
महाराज आए महाराज
ध्यान हो सकते हैं विचारानंद को इंट्रोडक्शन करना है तो
महाराज एक तो कंट्रोल
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Oye, bro, ¿quieren hablar o algo? Estamos...
Ya sé, sí, sí.
वो पंजे पानी के छोड़ दे रिकॉर्डिंग की रिकॉर्डिंग कर
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
फोन कर भाई Si queréis cantar, alguno de Canadá, si quieres cantar.
Maharaj ha llegado ya.
No lo veo.
Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Astatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Jaya Sri Krishna
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ya está
Hare,
aquí.
Hare
Ya está aquí,
Rama,
Guruma.
Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Guru Maharaj ki jai. Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj
Maharaj
ki
ki
jai.
jai. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare
Welcome.
Krishna.
Very warm welcome.
So nice
Please.
to see you.
So nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining us for today's evening for Balaram Jayanti's program. We are very happy and glad to have you with us.
Maharaj, if you don't, Nityananda Prabhu is going to do a brief introduction of yours in Spanish. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Nityananda Prabhu?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
it's okay.
Okay. Giriraj Swami nació como Glenn Philip Tetton, el único hijo varón de un famoso abogado de Chicago, que más tarde fue nombrado juez. En marzo de 1969, mientras estudiaba en la Universidad Brandeis en Boston, conoció su divina gracia a Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, el acharya fundador de la Asociación Internacional para la Conciencia de Krishna ISKCON, con quien sintió ter aprendido más en una breve conversación do que en todos sus años de formación académica. Después de se había formado sacado el curso en la Universidad de Brandeis con distinción, cum laude, aceptó iniciación formal de Srila Prabhupada y recibió el nombre espiritual Giriraj Das. Giriraj rápidamente se volvió uno de los líderes del centro de Boston y en poco tiempo tuvo la oportunidad de ir a la India con Srila Prabhupada para ayudar a establecer la misión de Prabhupada en la India. En 1972, Giriraj fue nombrado por Prabhupada como presidente de ISKCON de Mumbai y curador de la Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. A lo largo de su recorrido espiritual, ha hecho inúmeros contributos muy significativos para la misión de Srila Prabhupada, los cuales el más notable fue ter supervisionado el desarrollo del proyecto Hare Krishna Land en Juhu, Mumbai. Lideró durante años las actividades de la institución en Mumbai, Islas Mauricias, Sudáfrica, España, Portugal, Sri Lanka y Pakistán. Tuvo un papel fundamental en la adquisición y desarrollo del Ashram Bhaktivedanta en Govardhan y lideró el desarrollo del Kirtan Ashram para devotas. El Centro de Cuidados Paliativos Bhaktivedanta, el Instituto de Cuidados Paliativos de Vrindavan. Todos estos proyectos en Vrindavan. En el año siguiente, a la partida de Srila Prabhupada en 1977, Giriraj recibió el orden de Sannyas, la orden de vida renunciada, y fue nombrado el presidente del Consejo de Curadores de ISKCON en India. Es guru iniciador de la institución y comisario emeritus del Consejo de Administración de ISKCON. Leccionó también en el Instituto de Estudios Superiores de Vrindavan y es orador y formador en conferencias, retiros espirituales y workshops por todo el mundo. Su base actual es carpintería en California. Giriraj Swami está esencialmente dedicado a una de las principales instrucciones personales que recibió de Srila Prabhupada, escribir. Es el autor de Watering the Seed, regar la semilla, Many Moons, muchas lunas, y en breve será publicado, dentro de poco tiempo será publicado I Build You a Temple, The Juhu Story. Vos construiré un templo, la historia de Juhu. Es el editor de Life Final Exam, el examen final de la vida. Está en este momento a trabajar en diversas publicaciones, nombradamente en obras sobre su búsqueda por un maestro espiritual y sus primeros tiempos en el templo de Boston, en sus viajes con Srila Prabhupada en la India y también los días santos Vaishnavas. Giriraj Swami se volvió conocido por sus autoridades que aceptó, por su lealtad y dedicación a la misión de Srila Prabhupada y por su capacidad en inspirar y envolver elementos importantes, involucrar elementos importantes de la sociedad y por su dedicación en cuidar de los devotos por todo el mundo. Se acabó aquí la...
Okay, okay, Maharaj, so it is over. Now you can take over the session.
All right, so we'll begin by singing the Mangala Charana prayers and leading a short kirtan, and then we will speak about Lord Balaram.
Yes.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Pada Kamalam Guru Vaishnavansha Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Krishna Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Then, whenever you're going,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajaka Stotra Satasi Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Iskan Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajaka Stotra Satasi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktarinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kunda Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Todas las glorias a los devotos reunidos. Todas las glorias a los devotos reunidos. Todas las glorias a los devotos reunidos. todas las glorias a Sri Guru y Sri Gauranga. Todas las glorias a Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So I would request, as far as possible, that the devotees who have joined have their video cameras on so I can see you all live. You're translating.
Poner todos la cámara para que os pueda ver a todos.
Okay. So we shall read one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam about Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna.
Vamos a leer un verso del Srimad Bhagavatam sobre el señor Balaram y el señor Krishna.
Please repeat after me.
Por favor, repetid tras de mí.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 We read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Scheduled Incarnations.
Leemos del capítulo del Srimad Bhagavatam, canto segundo, capítulo 7, encarnaciones programadas.
Text 26.
El verso 26.
Bhume sure taravaruta vimarditaya klesha vyavaya kalaya sita krishna kesha jata karishyati janu palaksha marga karmani chatma mahimo panibandudani. Bhume sureta ravaruta vimarditaya klesha vayaya kalaya sita krishna kesha jata karishyati jananu palakshya marga karmani chatma mahimo panibandudani. Bhume, of the entire world.
Del mundo entero.
Sura itara, other than godly persons.
Personas que no sean divinas.
Varuta, soldiers.
Soldados.
Vimarditaya, distressed by the burden.
Afligido por el peso.
Klesha, miseries.
Sufrimientos.
Vyayaya, for the matter of diminishing.
Con objeto de disminuir.
Kalaya, along with his plenary expansion.
Juntamente con su expansión plenaria.
Sita Krishna, not only beautiful but also black.
No solo bellos, sino también negros.
Kesha, with such hairs.
Con los cabellos así.
Jata, having appeared.
Habiendo aparecido.
Karishyati, would act.
Actuaría.
Jana, people in general.
La generalidad de la gente.
Anupalakshya, rarely to be seen.
raramente visto.
Marga, path.
Sendero,
Karmani, activities.
actividades,
Cha, also.
también.
Atma Mahima, glories of the Lord Himself.
Glorias del propio Señor.
Rupani Bandhadanini, in relation to.
En relación con.
Translation. When the world is overburdened by the fighting strength of kings who have no faith in God, the Lord, just to diminish the distress of the world, descends with his plenary portion.
Cuando el mundo se encuentra sobrecargado por la fuerza combatiente de reyes que no tienen fe en Dios, el Señor, solo para disminuir la aflicción del mundo, desciende con su porción plenaria.
The Lord comes in his original form with beautiful black hair.
El Señor viene en su forma original con hermoso cabello negro.
And just to expand his transcendental glories, he acts extraordinarily.
Y solo para expandir sus glorias trascendentales, Él actúa de un modo extraordinario.
No one can properly estimate how great he is.
Nadie puede calcular con precisión cuán grande es Él.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This verse is especially describing the appearance of Lord Krishna and his immediate expansion, Lord Baladev.
Este verso está describiendo especialmente la aparición del Señor Krishna y de su expansión inmediata, el Señor Baladev.
Both Lord Krishna and Lord Baladev are one supreme personality of Godhead.
Tanto el Señor Krishna como el Señor Baladev son una única suprema personalidad de Dios.
The Lord is omnipotent, and he expands himself in innumerable forms and energies, and the whole unit is known as the one supreme Brahman.
El Señor es omnipotente y Él se expande en innumerables formas y energías, y la unidad entera se conoce como el Brahman Supremo único.
The personal expansions are called Vishnu Tattvas, and the differential expansions are called the Jiva Tattvas.
Esas extensiones del Señor se dividen en dos, a saber, la personal y la diferencial.
And in such expansional activity, Lord Baladev is the first personal expansion of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Y en dicha actividad de expansión, el Señor Baladev es la primera expansión personal de Krishna, la suprema personalidad de Dios.
So I will stop and comment as we read the purport, which is quite long.
Voy a parar e ir comentando porque este significado es bastante largo.
But basically, Baladev is the first expansion of Krishna.
Básicamente, Baladev es la primera expansión de Krishna.
Krishna expands in as his personal expansions, and Lord Balaram is the first personal expansion.
Krishna se expande en sus expansiones personales y Balaram es la primera expansión personal.
And then he also expands on the side of the energy, and Srimati Radharani is the first expansion on the side of the energy or Shakti.
Y también se expande como energías y Srimati Radharani es la primera expansión de su energía.
And we, living entities, are also expansions of Krishna.
Y nosotros, las entidades vivientes, también somos expansiones de Krishna.
And our constitutional position is to be the eternal servants of Krishna.
Nuestra posición constitucional es la de ser sirvientes eternos de Krishna.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared, Jiver Swarupai Krishna Nityadas. The constitutional position of the living entity is to be the eternal servant of Krishna.
El señor Chaitanya declaró que la entidad viviente, su posición constitucional, es la de ser sirviente eterno de Krishna.
And when we act in our constitutional positions as Krishna's servants, we are happy.
Y cuando actuamos en nuestra posición constitucional, somos felices,
Free from anxiety.
libres de ansiedad.
Factually, we live in Vaikuntha.
En realidad, vivimos en Vaikunta.
And the word Vaikuntha itself means without anxiety.
La palabra Vaikunta mismo significa sin ansiedad.
So nobody wants anxiety,
Nadie quiere ansiedad,
but the anxiety comes when we artificially try to take the place of Krishna.
pero la ansiedad viene cuando artificialmente intentamos ocupar la posición de Krishna,
To be the enjoyer, the controller, the proprietor.
el querer ser los disfrutadores, los controladores, los propietarios.
And in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvadehinam yatvamam shantim richati. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam, basically, Krishna is saying that one who knows that he is the enjoyer,
Aquí en el Bhagavad Gita, Krishna dice, Bhoktaran Yayatapasan, aquel que sabe que yo soy el disfrutador,
Bhoktaram Yagitapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. And he is the proprietor of everything, of all planetary systems.
Sarva Loka Maheshwaran, que él es el propietario de todos los sistemas planetarios,
Suridam Sarvadehinam, and he is the best friend of all living entities.
y también él es el mejor amigo de todas las entidades vivientes.
Gyatva Mam Shantam Richati, one who knows this about Krishna, attains peace, Shanti.
Uno que sabe esto acerca de Krishna consigue la paz.
So we want peace.
Queremos paz,
We want to be free from anxiety.
queremos estar libres de ansiedad.
And we can attain such peace and freedom from anxiety when we recognize Krishna's position
Y podemos obtener esta paz y esta libertad de ansiedad cuando conocemos la posición suprema de Krishna.
and we don't try to take Krishna's position.
Y no intentamos tomar la posición de Krishna.
So I'll continue reading the purport.
Continuar leyendo.
In the Vishnu Purana, as well as in the Mahabharata, both Krishna and Balaram are mentioned as having beautiful black hair, even in their advanced age.
En el Vishnu Purana, así como en el Mahabharata, se dice que tanto Krishna como Baladev poseen hermoso cabello negro, incluso en su edad avanzada.
So this quality of Krishna's and Balaram's, of having beautiful black hair, is actually significant
Esta cualidad de Krishna y Balaram de tener bello cabello negro es muy significativo.
And I will tell a story about how it showed its significance.
Y os voy a contar una historia para mostrar su significado.
So at one time, there was a personality in Pune named Rajneesh.
En cierto momento había una personalidad en Pune llamado Rajneesh.
He began as Acharya Rajneesh.
Él empezó como Acharya Rajneesh.
He wasn't Acharya, actually.
En realidad no era Acharya.
And then he became Bhagavan Rajneesh.
Y luego se volvió Bhagavan Rajneesh.
And he certainly was not Bhagavan.
Y ciertamente él no era Bhagavan.
He had an ashram in Pune, and he was advocating no restrictions, or in other words, among other things, free sex.
Él tenía un ashram en Pune y entonces él simplemente transmitía pues libertad, especialmente en la vida sexual.
And he had a lot of followers from Europe and America.
Y tenía muchos seguidores de Europa y de América.
And surprisingly to me, some of our so-called pious Hindu friends, the husbands were going to Pune to have sex with the Western ladies.
Y muy sorprendente para mí que algunas de las personas piadosas de la India, pues los caballeros iban a tener relaciones sexuales con las señoras occidentales en Pune.
So some of the wives of these men came to Srila Prabhupada and they complained to him about what was going on at Rajneesh's ashram.
Y algunas de las esposas de estos caballeros vinieron a Srila Prabhupada a decirle lo que estaba ocurriendo en el ashram de Pune.
And Srila Prabhupada replied, "Don't worry, I will go and drive him out."
Y Srila Prabhupada dijo, no te preocupes, yo voy a ir y lo voy a sacar de ahí.
So that was rather late during Srila Prabhupada's manifest presence.
Esto era más bien al final de los pasatiempos manifestados de Srila Prabhupada.
But still, he kept his word.
Pero aún así él mantuvo su palabra.
And in 1978, just just some months after Srila Prabhupada left, we had our first Rath Yatra, big Rath Yatra in Bombay.
Y en el 1978 tuvimos el primer gran Rath Yatra en Bombay.
And the Rath Yatra was such a success, and we had the chariots, everything was ready. So we thought we'll go to Pune and have Rath Yatra there.
Y fue un éxito tan grande, ya teníamos los carros preparados, que decidimos pues vamos a ir a Pune.
So some devotees went ahead to make the arrangements.
Algunos devotos fueron en avanzada para hacer algunos arreglos.
And, the newspapers, they're always eager to come up with some story. They even try to create some story.
Y los periódicos siempre están deseando de crear una nueva historia.
So, so some newspaper people came to interview the devotees and, what do you think about Rajneesh?
Y algunos periodistas vinieron a entrevistar a los devotos y le preguntaron, ¿qué piensas acerca de Rajneesh?
So the devotees said, that their spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, told them that anyone who says he's God is dog.
Y ellos dijeron que su maestro espiritual Srila Prabhupada decía que cualquiera que dice que es Dios en realidad es un perro.
Then they went to Rajneesh and they said, you know, the Hare Krishna people are here and, you know, what do you have to say about them?
Y entonces fueron a Rajneesh y le preguntaron, los devotos Hare Krishna están aquí, ¿qué tienes que decir sobre ellos?
And Rajneesh replied that, you know, that they are being misled, that their guru Prabhupada has not taught them properly.
Y él dijo, bueno, están mal guiados, su maestro Prabhupada no los ha guiado correctamente.
And thus Rajneesh, of course, it was very sinful what he was doing, but now he entered the realm of Vaishnava aparad, very serious offenses.
Ya era pecaminoso lo que estaba haciendo, pero ahora entró en el ambiente de Vaishnava Parada, una ofensa muy seria.
Yeah, against Srila Prabhupada himself.
En contra de Srila Prabhupada mismo.
So as time passed, I mean, not much time, but very soon after that, he developed a disease, I think a skin condition. He couldn't tolerate the heat at all. He couldn't tolerate any heat.
Y poco tiempo más tarde, muy poco tiempo después, él cogió una enfermedad de la piel que no podía tolerar ningún tipo de calor.
So he had a lot of followers, and some of them, you know, had money. So they built a place for him to live underground to avoid the heat.
Tenía seguidores que tenían dinero y le construyeron un lugar debajo de la tierra para que no tuviera que pasar nada de calor.
But even that was not sufficient.
Pero eso no fue suficiente.
He was suffering like anything.
Sufría mucho.
And finally, he decided to leave Pune.
Y finalmente decidió el dejar Pune.
And I thought of Srila Prabhupada's words, don't worry, I will go to Pune and drive him out.
Y entonces recordé las palabras de Srila Prabhupada, no te preocupes, voy a ir a Pune y le voy a sacar de ahí.
And then, of all ironies, they approached us to see if we wanted to buy their ashram.
Y luego, una ironía más, se acercaron a nosotros para preguntarnos si queríamos comprar su ashram.
So I went and I looked at it.
Yo fui y lo vi.
It was quite an extensive campus. It had nice gardens. It was well maintained.
Y era bastante amplio, tenía bonitos jardines y estaba bien mantenido.
But I felt the whole atmosphere was polluted by all the sinful activities that had been going on there.
Pero yo sentí que el lugar estaba contaminado por todas las actividades pecaminosas que habían estado ocurriendo ahí.
So in the end, yeah, we weren't interested in buying his ashram, former ashram.
Así al final, pues no estuvimos interesados en comprar su ashram.
But yeah, Srila Prabhupada kept his word that, you know, I will go to Pune and I will drive him out.
Pero él mantuvo su palabra de que voy a ir a Pune y lo sacaré de ahí.
Now, one of the arguments why Rajneesh was not God, Bhagavan, was related to this Sita Kesha, beautiful black hair.
Una de las razones por las que se decía que Rajneesh no era Bhagavan es una de su cabello negro precioso de Krishna.
Because Rajneesh was becoming bald.
Porque Rajneesh se estaba quedando calvo.
And his hair was turning gray.
Y su pelo se estaba volviendo ya gris.
So then where is the Sita Kesha, the beautiful black hair.
Así, ¿dónde está Sita Kesha, su bello cabello negro?
Sita Krishna Kesha, where is the beautiful black hair?
¿Dónde está el bello cabello negro?
So he didn't fit even that qualification of God.
Así que ni siquiera esa cualificación de Dios él tenía.
Yeah, what to speak of being full in 6 opulences.
¿Qué decir de ser pleno en las 6 opulencias?
Yeah. So we return to the purport.
Volvemos al significado.
In the Vishnu Purana, as well as in the Mahabharata, both Krishna and Baladev are mentioned as having beautiful black hair, even in their advanced age.
En el Vishnu Purana, así como en el Mahabharata, se dice que tanto Krishna como Baladeva poseen hermoso cabello negro, incluso en su edad avanzada.
The Lord is called Anupulakshya Marga, or in still more technical Vedic terms, Avan Manasagochara, one who is never to be seen or realized by the limited sense perception of the people in general.
El Señor recibe el nombre de Anupalakshya Marga, o en términos védicos aún más técnicos, Avan Manasa Gochara, aquel que nunca ha de ser visto ni comprendido por la limitada percepción de los sentidos de la generalidad de la gente.
In the Bhagavad Gita 7:25, it is said by the Lord, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavritaha. In other words, he reserves the right of not being exposed to anyone and everyone.
En el Bhagavad Gita 7.25 el Señor dice Naham Prakasa Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita. En otras palabras, Él se reserva el derecho de ser expuesto ante alguien.
So sometimes atheists challenge, can you show me God?
A veces los ateos desafían, ¿me puedes mostrar a Dios?
But do you have the qualification to see God?
Pero ¿tienes tú las cualificaciones para ver a Dios?
Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrita. That he is not, he reserves the right not to be seen by anyone and everyone.
Él se reserva el derecho de no ser visto por cualquiera.
To see God, you have to have the qualification.
Para ver a Dios tienes que tener la cualificación.
And what is the qualification?
¿Y cuál es la cualificación?
And that is that you should have love for God.
Es que tú tienes que tener amor por Dios.
Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Valokayanti Yam Sham Sundaram Achintya Guna Sarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Premanjana, that when one's eyes are anointed with the salve or ointment of love of God, Yam Sham Sundaram Achintya Guna Sarupam, one can see the beautiful, inconceivable form of Lord Sham Sundar within his heart.
Cuando los ojos de uno están untados con el bálsamo del amor, entonces uno puede ver la bella personalidad de Dios dentro de su corazón.
In other words, the Lord reserves the right of not being exposed to anyone and everyone.
El Señor se reserva el derecho de ser expuesto ante alguien.
Only the bona fide devotees can know him by his specific symptoms.
Solo los devotos genuinos pueden conocerlo mediante sus rasgos específicos.
And out of many, many such symptoms, one symptom is mentioned here in this verse, that the Lord is Sita Krishna Kesha, or one who is observed always with beautiful black hair.
Y de entre muchos de esos rasgos, aquí en este verso se menciona uno, que el Señor es Ita Krishna Kesa, o aquel a quien siempre se le ve con hermoso cabello negro.
Both Lord Krishna and Lord Baladev have such hair on their heads, and thus, even in advanced age, they appeared like young boys 16 years old.
Tanto el Señor Krishna como el Señor Baladev tienen esa clase de cabello en sus cabezas y por ello, incluso en la edad avanzada, ellos parecían muchachos jóvenes de 16 años de edad.
So that is another quality of Krishna and Balaram, Naviyovanam cha, that although they're the oldest of the old, they always appear like fresh youth.
Esa es una cualidad tanto de Krishna como de Balaram, que aunque tenían una edad muy avanzada, siempre estaban en la primavera de su juventud.
Whereas imitation gods like Rajneesh, as we've been discussing, he was growing old.
Mientras que personalidades como Rajneesh pues estaba volviendo viejo,
Becoming bald, losing his hair.
estaba quedando calvo, sin pelo,
And whatever hair he had was becoming gray.
y cualquier pelo que le quedaba se estaba poniendo gris.
So no Sita Krishna Kesha. Yes, in the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that although he is the oldest personality among all living entities, he always looks like a new, youthful boy.
En la Brahma Samhita se afirma que si bien eres la personalidad mayor de todas las entidades vivientes, siempre se ve como un muchacho joven y fresco.
That is the characteristic of a spiritual body.
Esa es la característica de un cuerpo espiritual.
The material body is symptomized by birth, death, old age, and diseases. But the spiritual body is conspicuous by the absence of those symptoms.
El cuerpo material se caracteriza por el nacimiento, la muerte, la vejez y las enfermedades, pero el cuerpo espiritual es notable por la ausencia de esos síntomas.
Now, this phrase, birth, death, old age, and disease, comes in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita.
Esta frase de nacimiento, muerte, vejez y enfermedades viene en el capítulo 13 del Bhagavad Gita,
In the description of knowledge.
en la descripción de lo que es conocimiento.
And one of the items of knowledge is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosanudarshanam, that one should perceive the faults or miseries of the repetition of birth, death, old age, and disease.
Y uno de los síntomas del conocimiento es que uno debe percibir lo malo del nacimiento, la enfermedad, la vejez y la muerte.
So this is part of knowledge.
Esto es parte del conocimiento.
We should be aware of these miseries
Debemos estar conscientes de estas miserias
and understand that these miseries cannot be stopped by any material means.
y ser consciente que estas miserias no pueden pararse por ningún medio material.
Janma, birth, often people try to stop birth control. They are afraid of overpopulation.
Nacimiento, las personas intentan parar el nacimiento porque están preocupados sobre la sobrepoblación.
But Srila Prabhupada did not accept the theory of overpopulation.
Pero Srila Prabhupada no aceptaba la teoría de la sobrepoblación.
According to the theory of overpopulation, if there are too many people, there won't be enough food to feed everyone.
Ellos tienen la teoría de que si hay demasiadas personas no se puede alimentar a todos.
But Srila Prabhupada, on the basis of the Bhagavad Gita, rejected the theory.
Pero Srila Prabhupada, con la base del Bhagavad Gita, rechazó esa teoría.
because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that he's the father of every living entity, Pitaham.
Porque si Krishna en el Bhagavad Gita dice que él es el padre de todas las entidades vivientes.
And the father is duty bound to provide food for the children.
Y el padre, su deber es proveer comida para sus hijos.
But then again, someone could argue, well, he didn't know there were going to be so many children.
Alguien puede arguir todavía, oh, pero él no sabía que iba a tener tantos hijos.
And Srila Prabhupada answered that challenge by saying that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that he knows everything past, present, and future. So he knew how many people there would be.
Y Srila Prabhupada responde a esto diciendo que Krishna en el Bhagavad Gita también dice que conoce pasado, presente y futuro, así que él realmente sabía cuántas personas iba a haber.
Yeah, so he's the Supreme Father, and he wants us all to come back home, back to Godhead.
Él es nuestro Padre Supremo y quiere que todos volvamos con él a casa.
I seem to be remembering Pune a lot.
Parece estoy acordándome mucho de Pune.
But there was a family in Pune, 3 brothers, who were very, very favorable to Srila Prabhupada and, very supportive of Krishna consciousness.
Pero había una familia en Pune que eran 3 hermanos y eran muy favorables y apoyaban mucho la conciencia de Krishna.
So the elder brother was S.P. Malhotra, and then the next brother was Bari Malhotra, and then there was a third brother. He wasn't, the first 2 were very involved with the business and with the movement. And then the third brother, he was a little different. He actually got a little attracted to Rajneesh.
Eran 3 hermanos y los 2 hermanos mayores pues estaban bastante envueltos en sus negocios y apoyaban bastante la conciencia de Krishna, pero el tercer hermano era un poco diferente, se volvió atraído a Bhagavan Rajneesh.
But the Malhotra brothers, they had a discussion with Srila Prabhupada about the merits of giving free food. Giving free food.
Yeah.
The merits, the benefits.
Okay. Yeah. Los hermanos estuvieron hablando con Srila Prabhupada cuál era el beneficio de dar comida gratuita.
And he gave the example that suppose a rich man's son runs away from home.
Y Srila Prabhupada dio el ejemplo, suponeros que el hijo de un hombre rico se va de su casa.
And he's living on the footpath. He has no proper home, he has no proper food.
Imaginaros que está viviendo en la calle, no tiene comida apropiada, no tiene vestidos apropiados.
So if someone finds that poor man, he can feed him, that's all right. But then after 5 hours, he'll be hungry again.
Y si te encuentras a este chico, le puedes dar de comer, pero después de un rato, pues tendrá hambre otra vez.
But if the man sees that fellow and says, oh, I know you. You are the son of such and such rich man. What happened? Maybe you had some misunderstanding with your father, but you should go home and all your problems will be solved.
Pero si ese señor encuentra a este individuo y le dice, oh, yo conozco a tu padre, es tal y tal persona, quizás has tenido un malentendido con tu padre, pero debes volver a casa.
He will be happy to have you back.
Él va a estar muy contento de que vuelvas.
And you'll have everything, a place to stay, food to eat, all facilities.
Y tendrás todo, tendrás un lugar para estar, comida para tomar, todas las facilidades.
So Srila Prabhupada said, that is what we are doing.
Eso es lo que nosotros estamos haciendo, si la Prabhupada dijo.
Of course, we also feed people with prasad,
Por supuesto, también alimentamos a las personas con prasadam,
but he said better than that, we find these stray souls who have left their father, and we are bringing them back to their father where all of their problems are solved.
pero mejor que esto todavía es encontrar a estas almas vagabundas y llevarlas con su padre y todos los problemas se les resolverán.
So that is a much better service.
Ese es un servicio mucho mejor.
And yeah, the Malhotra brothers agreed.
Y los hermanos estuvieron de acuerdo.
So, the material body is symptomized by birth, death, old age, and diseases, but the spiritual body is conspicuous by the absence of those symptoms.
El cuerpo material se caracteriza por el nacimiento, la muerte, la vejez y las enfermedades, pero el cuerpo espiritual es notable por la ausencia en él de esos síntomas.
Living entities who reside in the Vaikuntha lokas, in eternal life and bliss, have the same type of spiritual body without being affected by any signs of old age.
Las entidades vivientes que residen en los Vaikuntha lokas con vida y bienaventuranza eternas tienen el mismo tipo de cuerpo espiritual, no siendo afectadas por ningún signo de vejez.
So when we go back home, back to Godhead, by our practice of bhakti yoga and by the mercy of Krishna and the parampara, we will manifest our spiritual body.
Cuando volvamos con Krishna, por nuestra práctica de Bhakti Yoga y la misericordia de Krishna y del Parampara, conseguiremos nuestro cuerpo espiritual.
We'll have a spiritual body like Krishna's.
Tendremos un cuerpo espiritual como el de Krishna.
But of course, we won't have the same potency as Krishna.
Pero, por supuesto, no tendremos la misma potencia que Krishna.
As Srila Prabhupada says, this is the sublime philosophy of Achintya Veda Ved Tattva.
Srila Prabhupada decía, esta es la sublime filosofía de Achintya Veda Veda Tattva.
Inconceivable, simultaneous oneness and difference.
Inconcebiblemente, simultáneamente, uno y diferente.
We are one with God in quality, but different in quantity.
Somos uno con Dios en cualidad, pero no en cantidad.
So Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha, a form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss.
Krishna es la forma de eternidad, conocimiento y bienaventuranza.
And when we go back to Godhead, we will also manifest our forms, which are eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss.
Y cuando volvamos al mundo espiritual, también desarrollaremos esa forma de conocimiento, eternidad y bienaventuranza.
So in quality we are one, but in quantity we are different.
En cualidad somos uno, pero en cantidad somos diferentes.
Simultaneous, inconceivable oneness and difference.
Simultánea, inconcebiblemente uno y diferente.
Because God is infinite and we are infinitesimal, or as Srila Prabhupada used to say, infinitesimal. God is infinite and we are infinitesimal.
Como Srila Prabhupada decía, Dios es infinito y nosotros somos infinitesimal.
So, living entities who reside in the Vaikuntha lokas, in eternal life and bliss, have the same type of spiritual body without being affected by any signs of old age.
Las entidades vivientes que residen en los Vaikuntha lokas con vida y bienaventuranza eternas tienen el mismo tipo de cuerpo espiritual, no siendo afectadas por ningún signo de vejez.
It is described in the Bhagavatam, Canto 6, that the party of Vishnu Dutas who came to deliver Ajamil from the clutches of the party of Yamaraj appeared like youthful boys, corroborating the description in this verse.
En el Bhagavatam, en el canto 6, se describe que los integrantes del grupo de Vishnudutas que fue a salvar a Yamila de las garras del grupo de Maharaj parecían muchachos jóvenes, lo cual corrobora la descripción que se da en este verso.
So the Vishnudutas, the messengers of Lord Vishnu, had 4 arms and they looked like Lord Vishnu.
Los Vishnudutas tenían 4 brazos y parecían como el señor Vishnu.
Of course, Lord Vishnu has certain distinctive characteristics, such as the Shivatsa, which the Vishnudutas did not have.
Por supuesto, Krishna tiene alguna cualidad específica como el Shivatsa que los Vishnudutas no tenían,
But they had spiritual bodies and they looked like eternal youths.
pero tenían cuerpos espirituales y tenían juventud eterna.
It is ascertained thus that the spiritual bodies in the Vaikuntha Lokas, either of the Lord or the other inhabitants, are completely distinct from the material bodies of this world.
Queda confirmado así que los cuerpos espirituales de los Vaikuntha Lokas, bien sean del Señor o de los demás habitantes, son completamente distintos de los cuerpos materiales de este mundo.
Therefore, when the Lord descends from that world to this world, he descends in his spiritual body of Atma Maya, or internal potency, without any touch of the Bahiranga Maya, or external material energy.
Por lo tanto, cuando el Señor desciende de ese mundo a este mundo, Él desciende en su cuerpo espiritual de Atma Maya, o potencia interna, sin ningún vestigio del Bahiranga Maya, o la energía material externa.
The allegation that the impersonal Brahman appears in this world by accepting a material body is quite absurd.
El alegato de que el Brahman impersonal aparece en este mundo material mediante la adquisición de un cuerpo material es totalmente absurdo.
Therefore, the Lord, when he comes here, has not a material body, but a spiritual body.
De modo que cuando el Señor viene aquí, Él no tiene un cuerpo material, sino un cuerpo espiritual.
The impersonal Brahma Jyoti is only the glaring effulgence of the body of the Lord, and there is no difference in quality between the body of the Lord and the impersonal ray of the Lord, called Brahma Jyoti.
El Brahmayoti impersonal es solo la refulgencia deslumbrante del cuerpo del Señor, y no hay diferencia cualitativa entre el cuerpo del Señor y el rayo impersonal del Señor denominado Brahmayoti.
Now the question is why the Lord, who is omnipotent, comes here to diminish the burden created upon the world by the unscrupulous kingly order.
Ahora bien, la siguiente pregunta sería, ¿por qué el Señor, quien es omnipotente, viene aquí a disminuir la carga que la inescrupulosa orden real le ocasiona al mundo?
Certainly the Lord does not need to come here personally for such purposes.
Indudablemente que el Señor no tiene que venir aquí personalmente para cumplir esos propósitos.
So this is a very important point.
Este es un punto muy importante.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That he comes in every age, Paritranaya sadhunam, to deliver the devotees, vinashaya chaduskritam, to destroy the miscreants, dharma samstapanarthaya, to reestablish the principles of religion, sambhavami yuge yuge. He advents himself age after age.
Krishna dice en el Bhagavad Gita que Él viene para proteger a sus devotos, para destruir a los malvados y para restablecer los principios de la religión, milenio tras milenio.
But the Vinashaya Chadushkritam, destroying the miscreants, Krishna doesn't have to come personally to do that.
Pero para destruir a los malvados, no es que Krishna tenga que venir personalmente para hacer eso.
He has many agents, such as the material nature, who can easily kill the miscreants. And the material nature is quite able to do that and does that.
Por ejemplo, entre sus energías está la energía material, que tiene suficiente fuerza para destruir a los malvados, y de hecho lo está haciendo así.
So the real reason he comes is to please his devotees.
Así que la verdadera razón por la que él viene es para proteger a sus devotos.
And another related reason why he comes is to create subject matter for devotees who wish to chant and hear about him and remember him.
Y otra razón por la que él viene es para que los devotos tengan un tema de conversación sobre sus actividades y pasatiempos,
Like we are doing right now.
como estamos haciendo ahora mismo.
So he actually descends to exhibit his transcendental activities in order to encourage his pure devotees who want to enjoy life by chanting the glories of the Lord.
De hecho, él desciende para exhibir sus actividades trascendentales con objeto de animar a sus devotos puros, los cuales quieren disfrutar de la vida mediante el canto de las glorias del Señor.
In the Bhagavad Gita 9:13 and 14, it is said that the Mahatmas, great devotees of the Lord, take pleasure in chanting of the activities of the Lord.
En el Bhagavad Gita se afirma que los Mahatmas, los grandes devotos del Señor, disfrutan de cantar acerca de las actividades del Señor.
All Vedic literatures are meant for turning one's attention towards the Lord.
Todas las escrituras védicas están destinadas a volver la atención de uno hacia el Señor y sus actividades trascendentales.
Thus, the activities of the Lord in his dealings with worldly people create a subject matter for discussion by his pure devotees.
Así pues, las actividades del Señor en sus tratos con gente mundana crean un tema de discusión para sus devotos puros.
So we are very grateful and fortunate that Krishna and Balaram do descend into this world, which is like a prison house where we are being punished for our rebelliousness and enviousness, rebelliousness against the Lord and enviousness of the Lord.
Así que estamos muy agradecidos y somos muy afortunados de que Krishna y Balaram hayan descendido a esta prisión en este mundo material para quitarnos esta envidia y esta rebelión que tenemos hacia el Señor.
And they manifest their, forms and qualities and pastimes so that we can chant about them and think about them.
Y manifiestan todos estos pasatiempos para que podamos escuchar de ellos y hablar de ellos.
Sometimes Lord Balaram is referred to as the original spiritual master.
A veces lo referimos a Balaram como el maestro espiritual original.
Why?
¿Por qué?
What are the duties of or the functions of a spiritual master?
¿Cuáles son las funciones o el deber del maestro espiritual?
So one duty or function is to serve Krishna.
Un deber o función es el servir a Krishna.
And Lord Balaram, as the first expansion of Krishna, is the first servant of Krishna.
Y el señor Balaram, como la primera expansión de Krishna, es el primer sirviente de Krishna.
And the spiritual master gives knowledge of Krishna.
El maestro espiritual también da conocimiento sobre Krishna.
And thus Lord Balaram, as the first expansion of Krishna, is the first to teach people about Krishna.
Y Balaram, como primera expansión de Krishna, es el primero en enseñar a la gente acerca de Krishna.
And in conclusion, I will relate two little anecdotes related to Krishna and Balaram that involved Srila Prabhupada.
Para concluir, voy a contar dos pequeñas anécdotas de Krishna y Balaram que tienen que ver con Srila Prabhupada.
So the first took place at the Ardha Kumbh Mela in Allahabad.
La primera tuvo lugar en el Kumbh Mela en Allahabad.
And two of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Yamuna Devi and Madhuvisa Prabhu, were having a bit of an argument about philosophy.
Y en esta historia, pues Yamuna y Madhuvisa Prabhu, dos discípulos de Srila Prabhupada, estaban teniendo un argumento entre ellos.
And so they, I guess they approached Tamal Krishna Goswami, or somehow he was aware of their dispute, and he brought the matter to Srila Prabhupada.
De alguna manera ellos se acercaron a Tamal Krishna Goswami, que era consciente de su disputa, y él se acercó a Srila Prabhupada.
So Madhuvisa Prabhu was saying that there's no difference between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is that Krishna is black and Balaram is white.
Madhuvisa Prabhu estaba diciendo que no hay diferencia entre Krishna y Balaram. La única diferencia es que Krishna es oscuro y Balaram es blanco.
And Yamuna Devi was saying, no, there is a difference, another difference, because Krishna is the only enjoyer of Srimati Radharani.
Y Yamuna Devi dijo, sí hay una diferencia, es que Krishna es el único disfrutador de Srimati Radharani.
So they were having this dispute, and Tamal Krishna Goswami brought the question to Srila Prabhupada.
Tenían esta disputa y Tamal Krishna Goswami trajo esto ante Srila Prabhupada.
So Tamal Krishna Goswami said that, Madhuvisa Prabhu says that Krishna and Balaram are the same. The only difference is that Krishna is blackish and Balaram is whitish.
Tamal Krishna Goswami decía, Madhuvisa Prabhu dice que Krishna y Balaram son iguales, la única diferencia es que Krishna es oscuro y Balaram es blanco.
And Srila Prabhupada said, he is right.
Srila Prabhupada dijo, tiene razón.
And then Tamal Krishna Goswami said, but Yamuna Devi said there's another difference, which is that Krishna is the only enjoyer of Srimati Radharani.
Pero Tamal Krishna decía, pero Yamuna Devi dice que hay otra diferencia, es que Krishna es el único disfrutador de Srimati Radharani.
And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, she is also right.
Y Srila Prabhupada dijo, sí, también tiene razón.
Then Tamal Krishna Goswami said, but Srila Prabhupada, they're saying different things. They both can't be right.
Y Tamal Krishna Goswami dijo, pero Srila Prabhupada, están diciendo dos cosas diferentes, los dos no pueden tener razón.
And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, you are also right.
Srila Prabhupada dijo, tú también tienes razón.
And then Tamal Krishna Goswami said, well, then who is right? Who actually is right?
Y entonces Tamal Krishna Goswami dijo, pero bueno, en realidad, ¿quién tiene razón?
And Srila Prabhupada said, you decide.
Y Srila Prabhupada le dijo, tú decides.
Then the other one anecdote, Srila Prabhupada asked, who is stronger, Krishna or Balaram?
Otra anécdota era que quién era más fuerte, Krishna o Balaram.
And so generally the devotees were saying Balaram. Bala means strength. Balaram, he takes pleasure in strength. And he's also the source of spiritual strength, which is very important for us.
Entonces los devotos en general decían Balaram. Bala significa fuerza y también es la fuerza espiritual que es muy importante para nosotros.
But I said Krishna.
Pero yo dije Krishna.
Because when you see deities of Krishna Balaram, Balaram is always resting his arm on Krishna's shoulder.
Pero dije Krishna porque cuando ves las deidades, ves que Balaram siempre se está apoyando su brazo en la espalda de Krishna,
And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, that is the answer.
en el hombro de Krishna. Entonces la Prabhupada dijo, sí, esa es la respuesta.
Yeah, so, two little anecdotes.
Dos pequeñas anécdotas.
So now we can see if any devotees want to say anything, if they have any comments or questions, as they can raise their hands.
A ver si los devotos tienen alguna pregunta, podéis levantar las manos.
Hari Bhakti Vilas Dasi is raising her finger. It's just one finger is enough to get our attention.
Hari Bhakti Vilas está levantando un dedo. Con un dedo es suficiente para llamar nuestra atención.
You can unmute yourself before you speak. Hari Bhakti Vilasi.
Hari Bhakti Vilas, you have to unmute yourself. Can you do it? Can you unmute her?
What name she's appearing there, because I can't find her as
Oh, Pili Rosselli.
Kivi Roselli. Okay.
Or Pili Rosell.
Yeah. I think she's having difficulty in unmuting. Or
Now?
There she is.
Yeah,
There she
yeah.
is.
Okay.
Sí, te escuchamos.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Gurudev,
Hare Krishna.
my obeisances. So we just held this mini Ratha Yatra in Tenerife.
Nice.
Yes, the deities went by cars. These cars without top that they take them usually to the parade place. So they had a small, but we went round the round the blocks, and then the way back we put them back in the garage, and it was very nectarian. And I have one devotee staying at my place, and she played me danga, one devotee lady, Bhakti Sakti, and she played me danga. And
Nice.
she was very happy to be in Ratha Yatra because she's been away for a while. And so, yes, she was my host at my place, and she she played me danga, and the ladies, we were doing kirtan. And then it was very nice to be back at the temple after so long.
Yeah, nice. Good. Yeah, Lord Balaram, he was there. And the story behind the Rath Yatra, of course, is a big story. Lord Balaram was there with Krishna and Subhadra.
Dice que la historia de Balaram, de Ratha Yatra, el señor Balaram tiene una influencia.
Are there any other questions or comments? Yes. Amagori.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. You mentioned that Lord Krishna and Balaram, they, like Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he came to establish dharma. Whenever there is a decline in religion, he manifests. So, Duryodhan took the Narayani Sena of Krishna, and Krishna became the chariot driver of Arjuna. So I just wondered, because Lord Krishna, when he came, he had killed already so many demons, and he came. So why, I mean, this innocent army of Lord Krishna was killed also, and so many millions of people were soldiers, and all they died in this war. I mean, if Krishna wanted, he could have just killed Duryodhan and Shakuni and all others in an instant. Why all these innocent people had to die also?
Do you want to translate for yourself, or should Ganga?
Ganga, I think Ganga will do a better job.
Bueno, es a little long for me. Si
Oh.
¿Puede resumirlo?
Oh, bueno, ya lo traduzco. que preguntaba a Guru Maharaj que Krishna, cuando apareció como Krishna, se mataba muchos demonios desde su infancia. Entonces, como en la batalla de Kurukshetra, había, por parte de Duryodhana, había los soldados de Krishna mismo, y había otros soldados por parte de Arjuna. Entonces, si Krishna quería, podía haber matado Duryodhana en un instante. ¿Por qué tenían que morir tantas personas?
So the answer is that everyone who died, either by being killed by Krishna, of course he wasn't fighting directly, but anyone who died in his presence was liberated.
Por supuesto, en la batalla de Kurukshetra, cualquiera que murió en la presencia de Krishna se liberó.
So they were not the losers, but they were the gainers.
Así que no perdieron nada, sino que ganaron mucho.
I guess it was 1971, Srila Prabhupada, at that time, Srila Prabhupada was traveling around India, and we went to Amritsar.
Srila Prabhupada estaba viajando con los devotos en el 1971 y fuimos a Amritsar.
And we met a very nice man, very aristocratic, he was like a king, named Baladev Inder Singh.
Y nos encontramos con un señor muy bueno, muy aristocrático, llamado Indra Singh.
And he told Srila Prabhupada that an astrologer had informed him that he was present in the Battle of Kurukshetra, and that unfortunately he was on the wrong side against Krishna. And so he was like quite distressed by that account.
Aparentemente le contó a Srila Prabhupada que había estado en un astrólogo y le había dicho que él había estado presente en la batalla de Kurukshetra, pero que estaba en el lado opuesto a Krishna y por ello estaba muy apenado.
And Srila Prabhupada said, "Don't worry."
Srila Prabhupada le dijo, no te preocupes.
That cannot be true.
Eso no puede ser verdad.
Because everyone who died in the Battle of Kurukshetra was liberated.
Porque todos los que murieron en la batalla de Kurukshetra se liberaron.
So, yeah, I mean, from a certain perspective, many innocent people died, but from another perspective, they all got liberated. So, there was no loss for them.
En una perspectiva, mucha gente inocente murió, pero en otra, pues todos se liberaron, o sea que no hubo ninguna pérdida.
That's a relief to know. At least they got liberated.
Yeah, they did.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Maharaj, so you have one Chandni Doshi also with her hands raised digitally.
Okay.
Okay. So, Chandni, you can speak now.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Thank you for the
Oh, now she can't hear her.
Oh, she has muted herself
Sorry.
again.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
So I have two questions, Maharaj.
sure.
Yeah, thank you. The first one is regarding the differences between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. Can we also say that Lord Balaram gets like bewildered? I don't know if bewildered is the right word, because in Brahma Vimohan Leela, Lord Balaram, he took, he did not realize that whole year that it was Krishna that was actually in the form of the cowherd boys and the cows and the calves.
Well, yes.
La primera pregunta que tiene es que si Krishna y Balaram son iguales, dice, pero también no hay una diferencia de que Balaram a veces se confunde porque en el pasatiempo de cuando el señor Brahma robó a los terneritos y a los vaqueritos, Entonces, ahí el señor Balaram no entendía, no supo hasta más tarde que Krishna se había expandido en todos los vaqueritos y los terneritos.
No, we cannot say that this is a difference between Krishna and Balaram, because Balaram, you could say, was put into illusion by Yogamaya.
Esto no podemos decir que es una diferencia entre Krishna y Balaram, porque Balaram fue puesto en ilusión por Yogamaya.
Yogamaya is the spiritual energy as opposed to Mahamaya, which is the material energy.
Yogamaya es la energía espiritual opuesta a Mahamaya, que es la energía material.
And sometimes Krishna also comes under Yogamaya.
Y Krishna también a veces viene bajo Yogamaya.
It was said that once Krishna became so bewildered by Srimati Radharani's beauty that he attempted to milk a bull instead of a cow.
Se cuenta como Krishna una vez se confundió tanto que intentó ordeñar por la belleza de Radharani, que intentó ordeñar a un toro en vez de a una vaca.
Yeah, so both Krishna and Balaram, they can come under Yogamaya.
Así que tanto Krishna como Balaram pueden estar bajo la influencia de Yogamaya
For the sake of their pastimes.
para sus pasatiempos.
Thank you, Maharaj. Please, may I ask the second question too?
Yes.
Thank you. So, in this, in the purport where we read that Krishna actually, so certainly the Lord does not need to come here personally for such purposes, but he actually descends to exhibit his transcendental qualities in order to encourage his pure devotees. So, so the pure devotees, like, how, like, what do we understand? Because the servants of the Krishna, pure devotees, and they actually come to take the souls back to so that they're attracted back home, back to Godhead. So then is like so it's like, does Krishna come to attract all of us? Like, so because I'm a little bit not clear on this when he says comes to encourage his pure devotees, because they come specifically, sorry, my understanding might be wrong, to attract all the souls back home, back to Godhead.
Bueno, está preguntando que en el significado que ha leído, Maharaj decía como Krishna pues viene no solo para liberar a los malvados, o sea, sino que viene para dar placer a sus devotos. Y entonces ella no entiende mucho cómo dice eso, porque ella piensa que los devotos ya vienen aquí con una misión, que es atraer a las almas perdidas para que vuelvan al hogar. Entonces, ¿cómo es que dice que viene para animar a sus devotos?
Yeah, I mean, by pure devotee, it doesn't mean, pure devotees who've come from the spiritual world. It just means devotees who are endeavoring to become pure by chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord and remembering Him.
Cuando aquí dice devotos puros, no necesariamente quiere decir solo los devotos que vienen del mundo espiritual con una misión, sino los devotos que se están esforzando por escuchar y purificarse, por escuchar y cantar.
There's a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam that says that Krishna comes to the world to create a subject matter for his devotees.
Hay un verso en el Bhagavatam que dice que Krishna viene a este mundo para crear un tema de hablar para sus devotos.
So that they can become attracted to him.
Para que se puedan sentir atraídos a él.
And resolve to serve him.
Y toman la resolución de servirle.
Yeah. So that's a very important reason why he comes.
Es una razón muy importante esta por la que él viene.
And as regarding pure devotee, we had this discussion the other day. Srila Prabhupada said that anyone who is sincerely serving the spiritual master is a pure devotee.
Y el otro día hablábamos sobre lo que es el devoto puro, que si la Prabhupada dice que cualquiera que está intentando sinceramente servir a Krishna es un devoto puro.
It doesn't mean someone who descended from the spiritual world.
No es que quiera decir alguien que desciende del mundo espiritual.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, good question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Maharaj. So next we have one O.C. Prembodi. He's from Seville, one another city of Spain. He is Spanish, so I suppose he'll be speaking Spanish, and then we have to be translated.
Yeah.
Okay. So
He was on last time also.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
right.
He has a yoga school.
Okay, O.C.
O.C.
Prabhu, ¿puedes activar tu altavoz?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mi reverencia, toda la gloria y la Prabhupada. Muchísimas gracias por la clase de hoy. Ha sido de verdad un placer. La pregunta es también, volviendo a la batalla de Kurukshetra, usted decía que los que morían en la batalla de Kurukshetra iban a ser liberados. ¿Doy tiempo por si quiere traducir o lo entiende?
You were saying that the people who were, you were saying in Kurukshetra, everyone was liberated.
Pero los que morían en la batalla de la batalla eran conscientes, morían en la conciencia de Krishna, aunque había inocentes y personas inocentes y otras personas que estaban en la batalla. En realidad estaban en la conciencia de Krishna, sabían que iban a ser liberados.
The people who were there that were dying, they were Krishna consciousness, they knew that they were going to be liberated.
Oh, well, the people who were fighting in the battle, not all of them knew that they were going to be liberated, but that didn't stop them from being liberated.
Todos los que estaban peleando en la batalla de Kurukshetra no es que supieran que iban a ser liberados, pero aún así esto no paró el que se liberaran.
That is the absolute nature of Krishna.
Esa es la naturaleza absoluta de Krishna
And the mercy of Krishna.
y la misericordia de Krishna.
That even people who are killed by him are liberated.
Que incluso las personas que son matadas por él se liberan.
Or killed in his presence.
O muertas en su presencia.
Muchísimas gracias.
Hare Krishna.
Reverencias.
Okay, Maharaj, now we have another devotee called Kanika. She's staying in Malaga. She's working here. She's actually originally from India, but since 1 year she has been staying here. So I'll ask Kanika to connect her mic, and please, she can go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for engaging us in the Katha of Krishna and Balaram. So Maharaj, as you said that Lord Balaram is the source of the spiritual strength. Yes. And he is the first servitor of Lord Krishna. So Maharaj, my question is about Balaram Jayanti tomorrow. So is there any specific prayers or any best prayers that we can do to Lord Balaram tomorrow? Or in terms of services, like apart from chanting or offering bhoga or reading, is there any specific services that we can do to please Lord Balaram tomorrow or even otherwise?
Ella está preguntando de cómo usted decía que Krishna es la fuente y Balaram es la fuente de la fuerza espiritual. Si hay alguna oración que podemos hacer en particular mañana al señor Balaram por esto, o también qué actividad podemos hacer para complacerle, ofrenda de boga o canto. Sí.
Well, you'll fast for half a day.
pues ayunar mediodía.
And it's good to read about Lord Balaram.
Y es bueno pues el leer acerca del señor Balaram.
In fact, I was thinking now, I just remembered that I was going to read just a bit about Lord Balaram's birth.
Y ahora me acabo de acordar que iba a leer un poquito sobre el nacimiento del señor Balaram.
Of course, birth is not the proper word.
Bueno, por supuesto, nacimiento no es la palabra apropiada.
We could say appearance.
Podemos decir aparición.
So which is it?
Esto será-
Yes. So the whole arrangement was orchestrated by Krishna.
todo el arreglo había sido orquestado por Krishna.
And again, he used the agency of Mahamaya.
Y utilizó la agencia de Mahamaya.
So in Canto 10, Chapter 2, Text 7,
En 10, el canto 10, capítulo 2, texto 7,
it says, the Lord ordered Yogamaya,
aquí dice el Señor ordenó a Yogamaya,
O my potency,
oh potencia mía,
who are worshipable for the entire world,
tú eres digna de la adoración del mundo entero,
and whose nature is to bestow good fortune upon all living entities.
y tu naturaleza es llevar buena fortuna a todas las entidades vivientes.
Go to Vraja,
Vete a Braya,
where there live many cowherd men and their wives.
donde viven muchos pastores de vacas con sus esposas.
In that very beautiful land,
En esa hermosa tierra,
where many cows reside,
poblada por muchísimas vacas,
Rohini,
hay Rohini,
the wife of Vasudeva,
la esposa de Vasudeva,
is living at the home of Nanda Maharaj.
reside en el hogar de Nanda Maharaj.
Other wives of Vasudeva are also living there incognito because of fear of Kamsa.
Allí también viven de incógnito por temor a Kansa otras esposas de Vasudeva.
Please go there.
Ve allí, por favor.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Nanda Gokul, the residence of King Nanda, was itself very beautiful.
Nanda Gokula, la residencia del rey Nanda, ya de por sí era muy bella.
And when Yogamaya was ordered to go there and encourage the devotees with fearlessness, it became even more beautiful and safe.
Pero cuando Yogamaya recibió la orden de ir allí para animar a los devotos y liberarles del temor, se volvió todavía más hermosa y segura.
Because Yogamaya has the ability to create such an atmosphere, the Lord ordered her to go to Nanda Gokul.
Sabiendo que Yogamaya tenía la facultad de crear esa atmósfera, el Señor le ordenó que fuese a Nanda Gokula.
Text 8. Within the womb of Devaki is my partial plenary expansion known as Shankarshan or Shesha. Without difficulty, transfer him into the womb of Rohini.
En el vientre de Devaki se encuentra Sankarsan, Sesa, mi expansión parcial plenaria. Sin mayor dificultad, transfiérete al vientre de Rohini.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The first plenary expansion of Krishna is Baladev, also known as Shesha.
La primera expansión plenaria de Krishna es Baladeva, conocido también con el nombre de Sesa.
The Shesha incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead supports the entire universe.
La encarnación Sesa de la Suprema Personalidad de Dios sostiene el universo entero.
And the eternal mother of this incarnation is Mother Rohini.
Y la madre eterna de esa encarnación es Madre Rohini.
Quote, because I am going into the womb of Devaki, end quote, the Lord told Yogamaya, quote, the Shesha incarnation has already gone there and made suitable arrangements so I may live there. Now he should enter the womb of Rohini, his eternal mother.
El Señor dijo a Yogamaya, como yo voy a entrar en el vientre de Devaki, la encarnación Sesa me ha precedido y lo ha dispuesto todo de forma que yo pueda vivir allí. Ahora él debe entrar en el vientre de Rohini, su madre eterna.
So yeah, we can read about Balaram's appearance and his activities. There's so many wonderful pastimes of Balaram in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and in the Krishna book.
Así que sí, podemos leer sobre la aparición del señor Balaram y sobre sus actividades, que hay historias tan bonitas en el 10º canto y también en el libro de Krishna.
And we should offer him a beverage called Varuni.
Y le debemos ofrecer una bebida llamada Varuni.
Balaram is very fond of the Varuni drink,
Balaram le gusta mucho el Varuni,
which includes honey.
que incluye miel.
And yeah, we should, if we can, under the circumstances, try to share Krishna consciousness with others.
Y si podemos, en las circunstancias en las que estamos, también intentar compartir la conciencia de Krishna con otros.
Invite people or distribute books. That will please Balaram.
Invitar a alguna persona, distribuir algún libro, eso complacerá al señor Balaram.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Kanika.
Hare Krishna.
What part of India did you come from?
Unmute.
You have to unmute.
New Delhi. Delhi.
Delhi?
Yes,
New
Maharaj.
Delhi. New Delhi. Okay.
Yes. Yes, I used to go to Punjabi Bagh temple there. ISKCON Punjabi Bagh, where
Oh yeah, nice.
Shri Radha Radhika one. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Then you must have gone to Vrindavan. Did you get to go to Vrindavan?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, nice. Good. Okay.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Mara, right now in the list, there's nobody with the hands raised, so you can invite people if you wish or as you wish.
No, we can, I think we can sing the Nishinga prayers.
Well, there's a last minute hand raising by Keshava Gauradas. Is it okay? I connect him?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Keshava, you can speak now.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
My Dandavats pranams to you, Maharaj.
Hi.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm calling from Bangalore, Maharaj, India.
Oh.
Recently you came on Zoom to ISKCON Seshadripuram.
Yeah, I'm coming on tonight again. Well, it'll be here tomorrow morning.
Yeah, actually for me it's up half an hour past 12 midnight now.
Oh, okay.
So today you are coming, Maharaj. That means Balaram Jayanti day.
Yes, I am. Krishna willing.
What time, Maharaj?
I think, let me check. I'll tell you exactly.
11, 12 maybe.
I'm coming on at 7:30 tonight, my time,
Okay.
which will be 8 in the morning.
Okay, yes, Maharaj. 8 o'clock in the morning. Yes. Right. It's Balaram glorifications. Maharaj, one doubt was lingering in my mind when we discussed about Balaram. I've been hearing for for the first 20-25 years about Balaram, that he is a expansion of Krishna, and then Krishna's all the activities outside Vrindavan is done through Balaram. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Even is Krishna going to Mathura and then Dwaraka and killing the demons and all the activities. This is little confusing me. That Krishna really left Vrindavan or only through his expansion, Balaram, he did all the activities. Second thing, what's worrying me this.
Wait. Let her translate the first. Let's do the first part.
Okay,
It'll be easier for the translator.
Él está preguntando cómo él tiene entendido que Krishna, cuando se va de Vrindavan, es a través de su expansión Balaram, que no es él directamente, que él nunca deja Vrindavan.
I never heard that.
Yo nunca había escuchado esto.
It's true that the original Krishna does not leave Vrindavan.
Es verdad que el Krishna original nunca deja Vrindavan.
But there's an expansion of Krishna, not Balaram, but it's just an expansion of Krishna called Vasudev Krishna.
Pero hay una expansión de Krishna, no Balaram, sino Vasudev Krishna.
And that Vasudev Krishna, he sometimes shows 4 hands and sometimes he shows 2 hands.
Y esta forma de Vasudev Krishna a veces muestra 4 brazos y a veces 2.
Yeah, so that's what I understand.
Eso es lo que tengo entendido.
My second question, Maharaj, is Balaram, he had one pastime that he wanted to have include Mother Yamuna, River Yamuna in Ras Leela, and she was hesitating, and then he used his flow and then cut into some various pieces. And how to understand this? Actually, she is a devotee of Krishna. And whether Balaram want to show that he is non-different from Krishna to Yamuna and to the other world people?
Yeah.
La pregunta es acerca del pasatiempo de Balaram con Yamuna, que es difícil de entender cómo Balaram dividió con su arado a Yamuna en muchos riachuelos, siendo Yamuna una devota. ¿Cómo es posible esto?
In that pastime, Balaram was enjoying with his gopis near the Yamuna River.
En ese pasatiempo Balaram estaba disfrutando con sus gopis cerca del río Yamuna.
And he was apparently drunk, intoxicated from the Varuni beverage.
Y aparentemente estaba intoxicado por esta bebida de Varuni.
So Yamuna Devi got a little bewildered seeing Balaram intoxicated.
Y Yamuna Devi se volvió un poco confundida al ver a Balaram así intoxicado.
And therefore, when Balaram called for her, she didn't come.
Y por eso cuando Balaram la llamó, ella no vino.
But then, as you said, he took his plow and he was going to make all these rivulets to draw her closer to him with his plow.
Entonces, como tú has dicho, entonces Balaram cogió su arado y estaba dispuesto a hacerla muchos riachuelos para acercarla, para que viniera hacia él.
And then she came to her senses.
Y ahí ella se dio cuenta y volvió a sus sentidos.
That this is the omnipotent supreme personality of Godhead.
Que aquí está la omnipotente suprema personalidad de Dios.
And she should obey his order.
Y que tenía que obedecer su orden.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I have one question also. If there's time sufficient, can I put a question?
Yes.
Okay. So Maharaj, the question is many times we hear that Balaram is considered as Adi Guru. He is the original Guru. And without his permission or without his mercy, let's say, we cannot get the love for Krishna. We cannot take the shelter of Krishna. But at the same time, sometimes we hear that Radharani, without the mercy of Radharani, we cannot get the love of Krishna, or we cannot get the bhakti, no? So, I don't know, sometimes it becomes confusing that whom should we please first, Radharani or Balaram? Because he's the Adi Guru, he's like in one sense the original Guru. But at the same time, Radharani cannot be ignored.
La pregunta es que escuchamos que Balaram es el maestro espiritual original y que sin su misericordia no podemos obtener el amor por Krishna, el refugio de Krishna. También por otro lado escuchamos que sin Simati Radharani, sin ir a traer para este Simati Radharani no podemos obtener amor por Krishna. Entonces, ¿a cuál de los dos tenemos que ir primero? Porque Balaram es el maestro espiritual original.
We need the mercy of both.
Necesitamos la misericordia de ambos.
Yeah, we can't neglect either one of them.
No podemos negligir a ninguno de los dos.
And they both have the same goal, that we should serve Krishna.
Los dos tienen la misma meta, que tenemos que servir a Krishna.
And they're both there to help us.
Y ambos están ahí para ayudarnos.
Through parampara.
A través del parampara.
And yeah, I mean, we need all the mercy we can get.
Necesitamos toda la misericordia que podamos.
So we want both Lord Balaram's mercy and Srimati Radharani's mercy.
Queremos ambos, la misericordia de Balaram y la misericordia de Srimati Radharani.
But in that context, there's nobody, like say, between the two superior to the other, right? I mean, both are on the same level. Because if Radharani is like the internal potency of Krishna, and he's the first expansion of Krishna. So in that aspect, can we understand that both are on the same level, or there's one superior to the other, or there has to be like, we have to please simultaneously both, or one and the other? I mean, it's a bit sort of like, say, in that context, especially these two personalities, because they are very well connected to Krishna. I mean, in that sense, they're very loving to Krishna. So it becomes a bit delicate to understand.
En resumen, él dice que, bueno, ambos son muy cercanos a Krishna, muy queridos a Krishna. Si hay uno que esté por encima del otro, o son, ¿cómo es la cosa?
Well, in terms of tattva, you know, Balaram is Vishnu tattva, and in that sense, you could say he's superior to Srimati Radharani because she is Shakti tattva, no, Shakti and Shaktiman. So it is said Shakti, Shaktiman, Abhed. There's no difference between the Shakti and the possessor of the Shakti. So in that sense, they're the same. But still, if we had to analyze the, you know, the Lord is, you know, in terms of tattva is superior to the energy.
En cuanto a tattva, pues Krishna, Balaram es una expansión directa de Krishna, es Vishnu tattva, mientras Radharani es una expansión de su energía. Entonces, en ese sentido, en tattva podríamos decir que es superior.
But in the Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada writes that because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it's hard to approach him.
Pero en el Néctar de la Devoción, Srila Prabhupada dice que como Krishna es la Suprema Personalidad de Dios, es difícil acercarse a él.
And therefore devotees prefer to approach him through his compassionate nature.
Y por eso los devotos prefieren acercarse a él a través de su potencia de compasión,
Which is Srimati Radharani.
que es Srimati Radharani.
Yeah, she represents Krishna's compassionate nature.
Ella representa la naturaleza compasiva de Krishna.
So, yeah, we approach Krishna through her.
Así nos acercamos a Krishna a través de ella.
And as Srila Prabhupada says, if Srimati Radharani recommends someone to Krishna, then Krishna will accept that devotee into his association.
Si la Prabhupada nos dice como que si Radharani nos recomienda, entonces Krishna nos aceptará en su asociación.
Yeah, because in Vrindavan, usually the Brijavasis, they are more believers of Radharani, and they comment also that without her permission, you cannot even enter Vrindavan. I mean, even if like you have the mercy of Balaram, but if you have not got the mercy of Radharani, it will be impossible to enter Vrindavan. So in that aspect, sometimes, I don't know, maybe because they are believers, I mean, they are followers of Radharani in Vrindavan especially, so they are more biased, let's say, towards Radharani, or is it the fact?
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
So in that sense, she becomes superior. Because in any ways, also wherever we find Krishna, there has to be Radha next to him, but not necessarily whereas Krishna, there's Balaram next to him. But Radharani is surely next to him.
En resumen, él ha preguntado que, bueno, en Vrindavan se dice que no se puede entrar a estar con Krishna sin la misericordia de Radharani, entonces es una... Y Guru Maharaj dice que sí, que es la realidad.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj. Now, if you have another two hands up raised up, as you say, could I put them in the questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can wait.
Okay, so there's one Ananda Vardhana. I think he is first in the line. So Ananda Vardhana, can you unmute and start speaking, please?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
accept my mobile wishes. Very nice to see you. Your
Nice
smiling
to see
face is very enchanting.
Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, Maharaj, like in the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, when we say Ram, so often we hear that is in some of Prabhupada's lecture that Ram refers to Balaram, and sometimes it's mentioned that I've also heard, if I'm not mistaken, that Ram is also Radha Raman. So, which should be the correct understanding? This is one question. Then second one later.
La primera pregunta es que escuchamos que en Mahamantra, el Ram, a veces se puede referir al señor Balaram y también escuchamos que se puede referir a Radhika Raman.
Both are true, both are correct.
Ambos son correctos.
And it would depend on your mood if you want to take the Rama as Krishna, Radhika Raman, or as Balaram.
Depende de tu humor si quieres tomar la palabra Ram como Krishna, Radhika Raman, o como Balaram.
Yeah.
Okay, so both are correct.
Yes.
Okay. And another question is like where you said the purpose of Krishna's descent is not actually to kill the miscreants, because that can be killed by Krishna's energy, like the material nature. So material nature is killing the miscreants, but also material nature is killing the devotees. Like we're seeing so many devotees are dying at a young age now, especially because of the virus. So how do we understand that?
Usted ha explicado cómo Krishna no necesita venir personalmente para matar a los malvados, porque lo hace a través de su energía material, y así lo vemos, pero también están muriendo muchos devotos, a veces jóvenes, especialmente ahora con el virus. ¿Cómo podemos entender esto?
Everyone will die sooner or later,
Todos vamos a morir antes o después,
whether one is a devotee or not.
ya uno sea un devoto o no sea devoto.
But death has a different significance for a devotee as opposed to a non-devotee.
Pero la muerte tiene un significado diferente para un devoto, opuesto al significado que tiene para un no devoto.
Srila Prabhupada gives the example of the cat
Srila Prabhupada da el ejemplo del gato
with its kitten and with a rat.
con su gatito y con un ratón.
The cat if the cat picks up a rat in its jaws, then that's death for the rat.
Si un gato coge a una rata en su boca, eso significa la muerte para la rata.
But if the cat picks up her kitten in her mouth, it's just to carry that kitten from one place to another.
Pero si un gato coge a su gatito en su boca, es simplemente para transportarlo de un lugar a otro.
So death for a devotee really isn't death in the same way as for a non-devotee.
Así que para el devoto la muerte no es lo mismo que para un no devoto.
But death just means that we're being picked up from one place and carried to another place.
Simplemente significa que hemos sido recogidos de un sitio y llevados a otro.
We remain the same.
Pero vamos a seguir lo mismo.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good question. You know, Bihari, we don't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, I was muted. So Rasasundari, can you unmute yourself, please? Oh,
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for giving us so much of your time. It's so wonderful. We can't stop. I have one question, Guru Maharaj. The other day I was hearing a class of yours, and I hope I understood it right. And you were talking about receiving mercy, because we were talking about like receiving mercy. And in this class you say that until the heart is not pure, actually one cannot, meanwhile one is envious, he cannot really receive mercy. So I was thinking, first of all, I hope I understood it right. And if I understood it right, so then what about us, because our hearts are still so dirty, full of envious and so many bad things. So how is it then possible for us to even ask for mercy if we don't even have a fit recipient for receiving the mercy? I don't know. Do you understand?
Yeah.
El otro día usted estaba hablando, Maharaj, de la misericordia, de recibir la misericordia, pero hoy ha dicho cómo no se puede recibir la misericordia si todavía hay envidia en el corazón. Entonces, ¿cómo nosotros, que todavía tenemos envidia en el corazón, podemos recibir? ¿Cómo podemos ser recipientes de la misericordia?
We may have some traces of envy in the heart, but when we're praying to Krishna, we're not overwhelmed by envy.
Podemos tener en nuestro corazón ciertos trazos todavía de envidia, pero cuando estamos orando a Krishna no estamos llevados por la envidia.
If we were fully envious, like demons, then we wouldn't pray to Krishna. We would think we're supreme.
Si fuéramos plenamente envidiosos, como son los demonios, entonces no oraríamos a Krishna porque nos consideraríamos nosotros los supremos.
So if you're praying to Krishna for mercy, it means that you are, somewhat humble and somewhat free to a large extent, free from envy.
Así que si estás orando a Krishna, significa de alguna otra forma tienes cierta humildad y estás bastante libre de la envidia ya para orar a Krishna.
So what you quoted me as saying would apply to non-devotees, but not to devotees who happen to have traces of envy.
Esto que tú has dicho puede aplicarse a los no devotos, pero no a los devotos, aunque todavía tengan algún trazo de envidia.
Thank you.
Okay.
okay, Maharaj. So now we have two more people with the hands raised. Next is Geeta.
Okay.
I don't know who she is from where, but anyway, Geeta, can you unmute yourself, please? Hare Krishna, Geeta. I don't know. Geeta, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Okay, I think next after that is Bhakta Vashi. Vashi is from Malaga.
Oh, yeah.
Very well.
Yeah,
So
Bhakta
we
Vashi.
can, in the meantime, speak. Let's see later on. Geeta can take over.
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada.
Nice to see you.
Maharaj, yeah, how are you, Maharaj ji?
I'm good.
Thank you. So nice to see you and hear you. Maharaj ji, I wanted to ask, maybe it will be a silly question for you. I just wanted to know His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, why did he left his body? Why did he left this earth so soon? What was that necessity? It's a very simple question, but it doesn't strike me. I don't know. I'm so confused. Why did he went so early?
Oh, well, that. Oh, yeah.
La pregunta puede parecer un poco tonta para usted, pero ¿por qué si la Bhakti Charu Maharaj partió tan pronto? ¿Cuál es la necesidad? Puede parecer tonto, pero para mí es muy importante.
Well, I think the simple answer is that Srila Prabhupada called him.
Una respuesta sencilla es que Srila Prabhupada le llamó.
But he also wrote a very interesting Vyasa Puja offering to Srila Prabhupada in 2012.
Pero él también escribió una carta muy significativa a Srila Prabhupada de Vyasapuya en el año 2012.
And at the end of his Vyasa Puja offering, he wrote that, now I have done what you wanted me to do here. I've finished my work, and now I'm ready to come to you. So please take me.
Y él le decía a Srila Prabhupada, ahora ya he terminado el trabajo que tú querías que yo hiciera aquí, así que ahora por favor, tómame, llévame contigo.
So that was 8 years ago.
Esto fue hace 8 años.
But it seems that, we got him for another 8 years, but it seems that that prayer of his was accepted by Srila Prabhupada.
Bueno, Krishna nos lo dio otros 8 años más, pero parece ser que la oración que él hizo fue aceptada por Krishna, por Srila Prabhupada.
That's, the whole movement is feeling separation from him.
Todo el movimiento ahora está sintiendo mucha separación de él.
But we have to take it as a higher arrangement.
Pero debemos tomarlo como un arreglo superior.
Now we have to serve in separation.
Y ahora pues tenemos que servir en separación.
Yeah, but my questions, I don't know. I'm still confused. Was it so necessary over there in Golaka Vrindavan for Maharaj to be there rather to be here? Or maybe you think so? He will again be reborn here in this earth very soon? Maybe he take another body?
La pregunta es, pero ¿cuál era la necesidad para él? Todavía estoy confundido de estar ahí en el mundo espiritual, en Vrindavan Dham. ¿Puede ser que él todavía pueda volver a este mundo, que toma otro cuerpo en este mundo material?
Some things are beyond our ability to assess or comprehend.
Algunas cosas están más allá de nuestro poder de comprensión.
And I can't really say why Srila Prabhupada chose to call him now.
Y yo no puedo decir en realidad por qué Srila Prabhupada eligió el llevárselo ahora.
but I do have faith that we will be reunited.
Pero yo tengo fe en que nos volveremos a reunir.
As Srila Prabhupada said, we'll have another ISKCON in the spiritual sky.
Como si la Prabhupada dijo, tendremos un nuevo ISKCON en el mundo espiritual.
So,
Thank you very much.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Maharaj. So there are no more questions now. Gita had a hand before raised, but now I think she lowered it again, and she's not. You can proceed with whatever rest of the program by yourself. Like,
all right.
You choose.
I think we'll just. I mentioned the Nishinga prayers, but I think we can skip it because it's gotten pretty late.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll offer obeisances to all the devotees. I'll say it in English, and then Ganga will say it in Spanish, and then we'll all say it in Sanskrit. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desire trees, who can fulfill the desires of everyone, and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls.
Vamos a ofrecer nuestras humildes reverencias a todos los devotos Vaisnavas del Señor, que son como árboles de los deseos que pueden satisfacer los deseos de todos y están llenos de compasión por todas las almas caídas.
Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhudevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha anantakoti vaishnavindiki.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you. My pleasure.
It was a great pleasure to have you with us after time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Please take care of yourself.
Thank you. I saw Bhakti Gyan. That was really nice. Haven't seen him for a while.
Hari all. Reverencia. Hari all.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru
Muchas gracias.
Hare
Take
Krishna.
care of yourself.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you too.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My obeisances, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.
Thank you for your association.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Happy Balaram appearance,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Nice to see you again and hear your class. It's pretty.
Thank you. Thank you, Priti. Yeah. So how do we end this section?
Maharaj,
He'll just end the session.
You will have to end it. If you leave, all of us will. Otherwise, we will stick here along with you.
Balaram appearance, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj ki
Swami
jai.
Maharaj
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
All right. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Please take care of yourself.
Maharaj.
Please take care. Thank you.
I will try.
Hare Krishna.
I'm trying. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Maharaj.